Coming live today. Tanya Tanika here. I have been super focused on a few things, as you can see, if you've been following me for some time. And I have some really cool stuff happening. I have my own book coming out, Fasting for the Entrepreneur, Daniel Fast for the Entrepreneur. I'm finishing up that manuscript, so come on in as I'm kind of updating you guys on some things. So I'm updating on that, or I'm hopefully getting that done within today or tomorrow, sending the updated manuscript, and then I have my assistant editing everything and formatting, and then it should go to pre-sale. So I'm pretty excited about that. I did this book with my spiritual father, Apostle Brian Pleasant from One Kingdom Ministries in Farrell, Pennsylvania. And so that was a pretty interesting experience, and just an honor to be able to take what he wrote and then essentially almost like transcribe it, right, for how it applies to the entrepreneur and what they could do to make room for God in their life. So come on in, guys. Come on in. Say hello in the chat. As you guys know, well, there's many that might be watching that or replay that don't know who I am. My name is Tanya Tanika. I have been in I have the Truthpreneur LLC. I'm the founder of Genesis Network, and I have collaborated. Oh Lord, I have collaborated with Community Arts Experience. You can go check them out. CAEWW.com. And so that's a beautiful experience there. And Genesis is a part of that. So I'm building an academy and community for that is held and hosted within the CAE marketplace, which I'm so honored to be able to lead and start just building and creating and helping the other networks in their build as well. So that's really awesome. So come on in. It's been a little bit. I'm going to drop a link to Genesis Network just so you guys have it. You guys can join. We're going to be doing some fun things this month. This month is actually going to be Momentum. Make sure you say hello in the chat. It's actually going to be Momentum March Momentum. I'm actually going to get some music on because I do flow better that way. And it's actually pretty interesting. We have some other things coming up forward. We're going to do our 3-hour activation workshop, which I love. It's about 3 hours, and I get to jump on live with my students and other guests, and they get to build their websites or work on something specific. This month, we're going to be working on content creation and working with Canva and the ins and outs of Canva. And they get to actually ask me questions right then and there. I'm available for a full 3 hours, and we build together. I train, I teach, I do all that great stuff, and then I give them feedback and I help them with their copy. So it's pretty neat to be able to do that. All right, I'm going to jump in. So the Evergreen funnels, might want to rethink it, is my title. My hair is tickling my nose. Oh my gosh. And it's just like feeling really, really weird. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's feeling so weird. But I have hand sanitizer. That's cool, even though it's just me. But so let's rethink our full strategy, right? Let's rethink about our marketing funnels, our Evergreen. Everybody loves the Evergreen, right? They think, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to make moolah, make funds, make money. And it's going to be Evergreen. I'm going to be able to put it on autopilot, right? And there's this convincing thought that that's what's going to happen. But what ends up happening is we tend to sometimes lose the caring part and understand that there's real people on the other end, right? Real people on the other end. And so if you have a funnel, put a 1 in the chat. If you have a funnel right now, put a 1 in the chat. And this might actually help you in your strategy. So one of the things that constantly comes up is, hey, I'm going to put my free ebook or my course or whatever the case may be and draw individuals in. And then from there, I am going to be able to offer them a product. The thing that I noticed though is they offer the product right on the thank you page, or it'll be the next following email. And there's no relationship building. There's no relationship building. Good morning, Siobhan. Good morning, woman of God. So there is absolutely no relationship building. So when we're thinking about building our funnels, what happens is, we focus on this front end and our thought process is always, I'm ready to sell them as soon as possible, right? Now, this is actually the mindset of multi-level marketing, sometimes affiliate marketing, and what the industry has put in as a whole, right? But the way that the kingdom works is what? Think of it as you're bringing somebody in from church and you're bringing them into your business and you're bringing somebody from the outside coming inside to your church. It's a new environment, new music, maybe not be what they are used to, might not be what they're used to. English is hard for me this morning. Bleh. Okay. Yes. So what ends up happening is you do what? You introduce them to people, you love on them, you show them where the bathroom is, you get to know them a little bit more in a different environment, correct? And so we end up doing this. We end up doing this naturally whenever we are physically with people. But what happens is I've noticed that we don't do this when it comes to business, when it comes to the marketplace, when it comes to being in a different environment outside. We look at them as two different things, right? But if the Word of God talks to us and tells us, how we are to love and how we're to nurture and how we're to be that Samaritan, that good Samaritan, right? And we're supposed to be like this. But then what happens? We're like that only at church. So what I've realized is you need to, and what I do teach is breaking the industry standards. And I know this is pretty difficult because many they've gotten some success. They've gotten great success. A lot of that has to do with paying for ads. So what ends up happening is the more that they pay, the more that they increase. So whenever they have to grow in their business, they have to pay more in ads, right? It's usually how that goes. But the organic traffic is suffering. And let me share with you why. Because they don't nurture their list. They don't nurture their list. For instance, if I come into a restaurant and I just start telling you all the sales and all the deals and I bombard you and I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. Or have you ever had this moment? And put 1 in the chat if this has just annoyed the crap out of you, because I know it has for me, where you'll go into even a restaurant anywhere and you buy one thing because you love it and you're like, I'm craving it, I love it. And then all of a sudden they give you all these upsells and it's one thing after another. One thing after another. And you get just like bombarded and rammed with one thing after another. Put 1 in the chat. Put 1 in the chat. Hey, good morning. So I'm actually on HAP, so I can't quite see, and I have my music going. I can't quite see who's saying hello. So if you want to tell me who you are, I can address you by name. That's the one thing that I wish that HAPs could change. Okay, so Siobhan says, yes. Okay, so I have like some ones. Okay, good. So I'm getting some ones in the chat. So It is so annoying. Okay, there's two things that I have realized with funnels, and they got me so fuming mad. I literally just got off. Number one, and I'm going to also tell you, so stay tuned. I'm going to tell you a lot of the secret behind how I do funnels and, you know, how I teach them. Yes. Oh my gosh. Or hello and then verbally vomit. Do you know how many times that happens to me? I will literally just engage with somebody. Little big sis lady, I know that that is Rocky. All right. Hey, love you. Um, so listen, so what ends up happening with the funnel is this. Um, they come on, or I'm sorry, with the hello. We'll go back to the hello. So I've said hello, and we've had like 400 or 500 friends or 300 friends or 200 friends, and I'm like, I probably, you know, need to look at that again. I can't see the names, all of the names. Let me see if I can see it. Oh, bag lady. I'm sorry. I thought you said, Lord have mercy. Anyway, and so, okay, so Sarah, okay. So anyway, so what would happen is then as soon as I say hello and kind of nice to connect with you, they give me their links, and I'm like, hi. I literally unfriend them right then and there because I obviously know that they're not about relationship, and I don't want their product, even if it was something that would be cool or beneficial. I immediately kind of shut down. So it's the same thing with funnels, right? So if you take a look at your funnel, uh, and I have seen it where somebody would say, if you want to know more information about this, go ahead and put your email in. So now they put their email in, and imagine this. Now that they have your email, imagine the email is likened to you sitting at a table with them, hanging out with them. Okay. So now you're there and everything is good. And then all of a sudden it's like, in order to actually get the information, they got the email and then now they're charging you for it. That is manipulative. That is awful. Okay. That is absolutely awful. I think we're going to talk about that in this March Momentum Month. We're going to create massive content, but where do you put that content? How do you funnel that? And how do you draw that in? So we might actually I might do some teachings on that in the Q&As or in some of the activation sessions, because we have 4 left for this month. But so that's pretty difficult, right? That's pretty difficult when you just slam somebody straight out. The other thing I've noticed is have you put a 1 in the chat if you've ever signed up for something and then you get the free ebook or whatever it is, and then they upsell you right away. They literally tell you, go ahead and buy this. Now, in the industry standards, it's thought of as in the first 3 months or in the first, usually, 3 months, or 30 days, I'm sorry, not 3 months, 30 days that people will go ahead and purchase. But that's not true. With the heightened manipulation, everybody's kind of launching and doing their thing. And they're not actually an expert or experienced in what in business, but they're just good at a certain thing in business. And they've been kind of misdirected on how to launch their business and what God has called them to. That's why I love in Genesis, when I answer questions, I really, really focus heavily on ensuring that we are doing it by God's will. How are you to build your business by God's will? By your makeup, right? And so more importantly, I look at it by the 5-fold gifting, because we are all either in the mantle or operating in some way, shape, or form like the 5-fold. So this is the thing, though. I have been on email lists and I'm very careful. I actually have another email separate from my own email. So I have my business email, okay? And then I have a separate email that I actually sign up to things for. Because remember, I also build funnels for people, build websites, I teach it, I do all that stuff. And so there's sometimes that I'm looking at how things operate in other industries to be able to help, clients out. Now, I don't take many of those, but I do take them if led. uh, though that was just for me. Oh, you said that it was annoying or something like that, Siobhan? So what ended up happening is I'd get on one of them, and it was so freaking awesome. Let me share with you first of all the statistics. Anywhere between, okay, 90 days to 3 years. I've had somebody follow me for 2 years before they purchased anything. They've been so hurt and wounded in the industry, and they're like, okay, can I really trust her? Right? Because this is how the industry is. And this is why I'm so adamant, in Genesis Network, which is also partnered with Community Arts Experience. The reason why I partnered with them, with Genesis, is because they have counselors for inner healing. They have, for ministries, they have the Resilient Church. For our youth, it's through arts and entertainment and media. And we're able to help them and their families be in the workforce or launch businesses or however, and do character development. And it was really important. And so that's why I decided to partner with them, because this is what the marketplace entrepreneurs actually need right now. Right. But I was on that email list, and it was an ebook or something. I went ahead and I got on it. The next email was the ebook, and saying, this is great, and I'm glad you're on, and blah 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 blah, and a little bit of their story, right? Emotion, like partnership together. Then it was the next day I got it. It was like, hey, I'm sure you already devoured that ebook or whatever. What did you think of it? I mean, blah, blah, blah. So it was like, there was no selling. I was almost nervous, right? To open the email, but then I'm thinking, let me just open it, because I've been following this person for many years. And I was like, oh my gosh, I really respected that. I like that. Because they wanted to build relationship with me. And Sarah says, I waited, but mine was a seasonal thing with finances. It wasn't in the cards, but I wanted to learn more value and input and knowledge. So I waited a few years. Are you talking about with me, Sarah? Are you talking about with me? Yeah, sometimes. And that's why I do some of these videos. I do put them inside Genesis. But the truth of the matter is, there are individuals who are wanting to grow. They want business advice with character and integrity, right? And they want truth, but they're not capable right now. They're transitioning over. They might not be able to put in. There's many different situations, right? But what I want to share is something that really shifted me. So the problem here is these evergreen funnels that are not built with the person in mind. They're built with the entrepreneur in mind and selling a product, which is very unfortunate. Okay. So yes. And that's funny, Sarah, that you even say that, because you were in Legacy Changers when David and I first started Legacy Changers. You were in Legacy Changers. So you already knew how I operated, which I find interesting that you still followed me all the rest of the years. But anyway, so what I realized is I was hurt. I was wounded. I was backstabbed. I was manipulated. I was everything, okay, that you can think of, right? And I lost faith in humanity. I lost faith in humanity. I actually thought to myself, How in the world, right? How in the world could I go out there and serve people to my utmost when I know that they will backstab me, leave, talk about me, and hurt me in a heartbeat? Because loyalty doesn't seem to be anything these days. Commitment, covenant, none of those things. And so I lost faith in humanity. But then what I realized is what it shifted in my business was that when I lost faith in humanity, I actually came from that point in running my business. And I was very transactional. Now you have to be very careful because people will suck whatever they can that is free from you. People will, hey, can I have coffee? Can I have dinner? Can I have this? And they will pull from your mantle and you'll get worn out. But you're wanting to do it because you want to help them and it's ministry and so on and so forth. And so you'll be afraid to say, hey, look, I have a coaching program or here it is. And most individuals will just run. They'll be like, oh, okay. So they'll pay somebody else that they don't know, that they don't trust, that they just whatever, because they become too familiar with you. That's pretty intense. But I'm going to be honest. You know how I am. I'm going to be open and I'm going to be honest. So this is where we stand in business nowadays. There's so much hurt and so much pain that not only within the person's life, the entrepreneur's life, maybe your life. I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you've been in pain before. Even if you're watching the replay, if you've been in pain before in your life and it affected your business. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to challenge that too, because Sarah says, I think it's Sarah, because I can see that she's following. Yes, hurt runs deep, but we overcome. And I always remember that God sometimes hears conversations or knows situations that I don't. And he removed people for a reason. Yes, God does remove people sometimes for that reason, right? But at the same time, I've seen people remove other people that wasn't God. It was their flesh because they couldn't push through. I've been one of those people that have cut off relationships that I've had to go back and restore, knowing that they were meant to be in my life. They added value in my life. I added value in theirs, and we were good. We had fun. There were times we had fun, but then there was other times that it was so difficult, and it felt like we were, like two pieces of sandpaper. But the truth of the matter is, there was a lot of growing. There was a lot of miscommunication. And I don't believe that it's worth sacrificing. So while I believe and I advocate for, yes, there's certain times you got to, remove people out of your life and so on and so forth. But then I also believe that you need to be in a place of prayer and a level of maturity as well. And identify, and take on your responsibilities of your own to identify, do you need to change as well? Okay. That has been something that has been extremely huge in my life that I've realized and I've had to learn to overcome. And I've had to eat some cow dung, you know what I mean? I've had to eat some crow. Like I've literally had to do that, come back and say, I am so sorry. I was immature. I was wrong. And I had to hope and pray that they would receive me back. That I would have the grace and the mercy of understanding that, yes, I've been hurt, I've been wounded. And while it's not an excuse to hurt others, it happens. It happens. I've had to forgive myself for a lot of things. I've had to rearrange things, and how I do things. Even me stepping out, being so open, honest, and vulnerable right now in the business, people don't like that. They don't want to be exposed. People say they want to grow, but they don't. Because when you challenge them and when you give them the opportunity to do it, they don't. They come up with every excuse. I remember Even if I had to take a program, because I'm very careful, I'll take a program and then I focus on it. And I wasn't able to finish, and I wasn't able to do certain things. And it was literally like this conviction, like, that's all on you. Life happens. You need to actually learn how to run a business like a CEO, that the whole business doesn't stop, that education doesn't stop because something happened. I had to learn. Like, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, going to the gym, coming back, taking a shower, getting my, breakfast, smoothie, things like that, getting the kids ready for school and dropping them off, and then coming to sit at my desk, disciplined. Why? Because I knew that I needed to get my health back in order. There were some things that needed to happen. And in doing so, I had to prioritize my health. But I also had to understand that in business, I had to operate in business. I have appointments and emails and other things that I need to do. And so from 8 to 11, I literally just do focused work. But it also allows me to have some flexibility, that if, doctor's appointments and things like that, and kids' doctor's appointments and school and all that other stuff, that I'm capable of responding. Because that's my life. I have to be flexible for my children, right? For my family, because I have 3 of them little suckers. Well, college, he's not that little, but they demand, they require. My life requires things. I have pets. There's things that I have to do. Yes, Sarah, I do understand what you're saying. There is a difference, though, between, like I said, having somebody in your inner circle and having somebody just in your circle. Remember, I always teach the outer, the inner, and the holy of holies. There's people in your outer circle. There's people in your inner, in that second circle, right? That the inner, and then in that holy of holies, there's some of those people, those ones, right? And so I've realized that, and let's ask levels deep, because we're talking about the funnels, right? In order to be able to reach out and understand that funnels are relationship building, they're not just a hardcore sell right away, that it's over the length of a period of time, and you begin having a relationship and giving value to that person to where they can meet with you. And so from that point, I realized I needed to love and care for people, but I had given up on humanity. I had been hurt so badly, that I did try to take my life. Right? Hi. So I had been, when you're that low, when you're at that lowest point, it's really difficult. Right? I remember hearing this thing. It was Glenn Doyle. She said, a woman knows her heartbreak is her roadmap. Her heartbreak leads, right, to the roadmap. And it was really difficult, because I would get angry at even listening I would get angry listening to even encouraging things. Sometimes I'd get angry listening to sermons, and I would just have to sit my little tail down in the silence, in instrumental music, and just say, God, speak to me, and God, help me heal, and what do I need to address today? Because I couldn't even listen to sermons. I couldn't open my Bible. I was angry. And what that did was, I lost faith in humanity. That if I gave my heart one more time, if I gave my time, gave my energy, gave these things, that one more time, it was going to hurt. But I started looking, one thing that helped me was looking at CEOs and their life and how things happen. And it was not easy. It was not easy. And one book that I'm actually reading now, and this has to do with funnels, is Believe It. It's called Believe It. Believe It. And what this has done for me, it's also helped me a lot, and build the resilience. A lot of entrepreneurs need to work on the resilience. Sometimes when you've been hit so hard and thrown on the floor, like just stamped 6 feet back under. It's a little tough. It's a little tough to recover. Um, oh, thank you. I love it. Thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate that. And I find value in you. I've always enjoyed my times with you. You have a lot of joy, even in some of your hard times, and I see it in your face. But yeah, like just like Sarah said, she, for 6 months, she literally just turned everything off. Yeah, and so what I want to share with you is that you have to do some of that inner healing, because in order to do your funnels, you do have to care for people. If you really want longevity and a good reputation and a good, relationship building over that period of time, it's really beneficial and really important to care. This is going to make or break businesses. Now and in the future, because God has been working on really bringing people into the forefront, new generals in business that are ready to do what they need to do and be honest. I mean, I don't think I've ever just come out in all of business like I did these last 6 months. It's been almost 20 years. Do you know what I mean? Literally. I mean, I prophesy, I pray in tongues. I'm coming out about, the apostolic and about the Bible and about how to run your business and all of that. And I'm open. And it's required me to do that. But it's also caused heartache. Whether people in the industry don't agree, whether your family doesn't agree. I'm a pretty introverted person. I don't talk a lot about my personal life. I do talk about my experiences, but it took me a long time, almost that 20 years, to get transparency, because I was hurt so much, and I had to stay. I had to stay in that. Yeah, Sarah, when you join Genesis, you actually get an onboarding call. But I know that you said you had other family things that happened, and so you actually do get an onboarding call with me. You get an hour for free, so we can direct you, and I can help you navigate and make sure that you're building your business to how God wired you. And so, yeah. So, just so you know, just so you know. When you're looking at your evergreen funnels, I want you just to rethink it a bit. Can you rethink it for me? For you, for us, for everybody in the industry? Again, it could take anywhere from 60 days to 3 years for somebody to come on and join you in the journey and trust you in business. And so when you're building your funnels, think about longevity, think about relationship building, think about consistency. When it comes to selling and things like that, you can sell in your live streams. You can sell on podcasts. You can sell on your posts. There's a lot of things that you can do that you can make sure that you relationship build over time in your funnels and in that process. All right, guys. So I would love to see you. I'm going to put in the chat. You can actually, I can also put it up here. Okay, so you can go to jointruth.club, jointruth.club, and it's right here in the upper corner. Okay, jointruth.club. And you'll be able to go take a look. You'll find out all the stuff that we teach, a lot of the stuff that we teach, the courses, the programs, all that good stuff. So there you go. All right. And I will definitely see you soon. I'm looking at trying to make sure I come on once or twice a week and be able to help you out and teach and so on and so forth. But I'm glad I got to spend this time with